Hello again and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. In this video we're going to be going through the scenario Back from the Dead. This is a bit of a different scenario. You start only with a resurrection bot, so you need to revive everything. There is a substantial base around your starting position that you can use to get going, so let's jump straight into it. Okay, so here we go. Game has started. There we go. So we've got plenty of advanced solars here. We're going to get this factory resurrected first. I know we don't have necessarily any eco buildings here, but it's useful to get some engineers out. Now, what I've realized is that we don't technically need the factory straight away because there are engineers already dead that we could just reclaim to get going. Not reclaim, resurrect. Got to build a couple more anyway. Get some defensive units out as well, so we don't want enemy like scouts just coming and killing all of our resurrection bots. Now there's a Tech 2 metal there. Now that is quite strong, so we'll definitely prioritize getting that up, and then we're going to just do an area resurrect command to get everything else up in whatever order we kind of want to prioritize. Now we're going to build a radar. Point for this is we want to see if those enemies come in. Now with the fact that we're going to build a couple of defensive units, we kind of need to know if they're going to be coming from the bottom or from the top. Now we are kind of playing a bit of a risk here by not building any air defense, but we're just gonna hope for the best here. Okay, so we're going to move this engineer forward with this grunt here. Let's see what's down in front of us. We need to know what is in front to see if we need more res bots or not. Now you're noticing there's a bunch of grey stuff, so getting some more res bots on the go. Now the useful thing is here you can see there's already some point defenses around our base that are being rebuilt, which is great. Now these fully built units, we can't capture them. So for example, that laser tower there and the radar as well, we can't actually use them at all. What we can do on the other hand is reclaim them if we do need to. Another thing to note is if you shoot them or an enemy shoots them, they go hostile to you. So just keep that in mind. Okay, there's a couple of tactical missile launchers there, which is quite a lot of metal to be left around. Now we're using these grunts to scout with, find out what's going on the map, find where the enemy is. And we're going to get these other guys that have just been built to regroup down towards where the enemy is. Knowing where the enemy is important because it dictates the direction that we want to go in terms of expansion. We want to try and block off the enemy's expansion by pushing towards them, and then the more map we control behind us, then great. Now also note we don't have a commander again, so we're having to use engineers to expand with, and so by sending these other units forward to begin with and moving these grunts down here to defend those engineers that are slowly pushing forward. Okay, so these areas in front of us here, there's a group of 3 mechs is just south of where these grunts going, and then another one that opposites us. So we're just seeing where that is now. There you go. So we saw there was a pawn come around that corner, which we didn't see until it was very late. We kind of want to expand to this high ground as well. Okay, so we're now seeing that there is a shield. Now this is quite useful. We're also going to kill some of these bots here. Stops him getting reclaim, which is important. He's not going to get any of that metal, and that is a big advantage for us there. We've probably killed quite a substantial amount of them. Now what you'll see here is he has ballistic weapons, plasma weapons, and they are hitting that shield and just bouncing, right? Now this is a very strong point for us here because our grunts here use lasers. So we can just sit in that thing and not be affected by the shield at all, but he can't shoot us back except for the laser towers. So holding that position is very strong, and we're going to try and keep hold of that. Now we've got a grunt going down the opposite direction here to see what we got. I'm going to send those reinforcement units we've got straight to those other ones we've got left, and you can see there's substantial defenses on that side as well. So now those maces there can't actually hit us, as you can see. We'll get some splash damage, but that's about it from when it hits the floor. But in terms of the shields, no. But we can't go inside that laser tower range, otherwise we're dead. So I'm going to wait for those new units to come down. Bear in mind, we've probably killed quite a lot of his resurrection bots already. So if he's built more, then fine, but he's not coming out that direction. Now, we've got a lot of economy right now. We've got more than you would expect. It's mainly coming from that Tech 2 metal maker, metal extractor rather. So we're actually going to go for a Tech 2 lab here. It's quite an early Tech 2 laboratory. Tech 2 factory, rather. There we go, using the shield again. I wondered why that engineer hadn't built those metal extractors. It's because there's one already there. And that guy can't resurrect because it's not dead. So we're going to move it over there and manually do it instead because it's being a bit of a pain. And then I got a bit freaked out by those bombers that were flying over and realized, oh, there's nothing to worry about. They're not going to attack me. Okay, so just using the resbot to reclaim that. And we're going to reclaim that as well. And then we're going to go over there, see what's down there. So there we can res. So we'll do that with those. Now, we're going to cancel that production there because we're going for the Tech 2, reclaim the Tech 1 factory. And I've only just realized that right in the forest right there is a Tech 2 engineer, which would have been great to notice sooner. And it actually happens to also be a ARM Tech 2 engineer, which is interesting. So we now actually technically have access to both Cortex and ARM Tech 2. Alright, so we're resing that. We're going to move the engineers down. Still expanding, even though we're right outside the enemy's base, we're going to still keep expanding. And there we are now at Tech 2. So we are going to produce some of those Raider bots, the Flame bots, and get all of our Tech 1 engineers here to assist the Tech 2 engineer. And we are going to build some mexes. Now, there's pretty much, doesn't seem like there's anything else to reclaim or resurrect at this point. There's plenty of reclaim. But when doing that area command there, you'll notice that there was nothing that it could do. So we're just going to start reclaiming stuff now. Now, if you notice, if you reclaim something that's, let's call it the Gaia faction, it doesn't seem to get hostile with you. So just keep that in mind. Now, I notice you can't seem to do area mechs here because I believe the mechs is a Cortex mechs, but we have an Armada engineer. So I think that might be the cause of it. It's hard to say. It's definitely the case on the ones that are the gun ones, because that Tech 2 engineer is obviously an ARM one that doesn't have a Tech 2 gun, so it won't be able to do that. Okay, so now we've got 35 grunts here. Now that's a lot of grunts. So we're going to take out all the defenses on this side. We are going to lose quite a few, bear in mind, but more the point is that we open up this side. Now, against tanks like that, these are not going to be very good. We're going to try and dodge those shots. Ideally, we want to bait it into the shield here so that we can just, you know, have the advantage of their bullets just bouncing off the shield, like these ones here. You see they start running away as soon as I get close. But it's fine. At this point now, because we've already got Tech 2, we're waiting for that Tech 2 to get down there, and then we'll push him with a bunch of that Tech 2. We'll get some radar to try and catch those things going through the side. And then you can see those tanks there. They're like basically not doing anything because their shots are just instantly bouncing off. So that shield position, very strong for us. We just need to try and hold it. If they reclaim it, then it's going to be a lot harder. I'm going to use these guys. I don't want to get 3 engineers killed by a single thing, so we're just going to build a laser tower there to try and defend those engineers while they go and reclaim all that stuff. And here we go, got some flame guys down here. Now, these are quite the friendly fire units. They will flame themselves. So a tip when using them, try and always use them in a line move situation so that you don't just kill all your own units. Now you notice that metal extractor there, 2,400 metal from one metal extractor as a reclaim. That's a lot of reclaim. So yeah, if you don't shut down the enemy early and kill his res bots and things like that, the enemy commander is going to have a lot of resources to use. So shutting that down as quick as possible is highly important. So now we're just going in. Look at all that explosive economy in the back there. And there we go. That's pretty much his base dead. Now obviously we know there's laser towers at the top there, so try and kill the economy without walking in there, but ain't gonna happen. Now the victory condition for this map was to kill everything. So at this point we've already dealt with the base. You can see there's even more laser towers, even more engineers, and they just flamed themselves. Now, as you probably noticed, I went to self-destruct that bot there, the flame bot. They actually do more damage. They have like a small AoE explosion when they die if you self-destruct them, which is why I did that. Unfortunately, it didn't count down quick enough, but so be it. So now I'm going to start heading towards a Tech 2 economy. Not that I necessarily need to. If you haven't looked up economy video yet, I'd suggest you give that a watch. I go through the basics of building the economy so you know what I'm on about. And we're just clearing up here. So at this point, that's basically the end of the scenario. We've killed the enemy base, killed all his resurrection units, and it is literally just a mop up now. I'm going to speed up the rest of this video whilst I'm talking so you can see what happens. But in essence, what I do is I start getting some radar units up, see some clumps of units. I also build an air factory, get some radar planes, some scout planes up, and get them flying around the map, finding the enemy units, and then I just use what units are nearby to clear it up. And that's it. So, to clarify, use your grunts to scout early on, get the factory up, get those engineers up, get your basic base set up, and slowly push towards the enemy base with your engineers and stuff, building economy and defenses as you go. Get your grunts to find out where the enemy base is, and then once there, you want to try and kill their resurrection bots as quick as you can. If the shield also spawns for you, as it did spawn for me, if you can hold that position, it is a very advantageous position for you if they have any plasma-based weaponry, which pawns, their tanks, a lot of their units are plasma-based. So yeah, it is a very strong position to hold. Yeah, and that's it for this video. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday for the next scenario, and don't forget to subscribe so you know when it comes out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.